Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I've got a fun project to share with you for W+9. I'm excited to use some of their new goodies, the Southern Summer Florals stamp set. There's a 1 and a 2, as well as the basic greeting die. Loving their new products, so let's dive right in. I am not doing anything fancy schmancy, no highfalutin techniques or anything like that, just basic stamping, die cut it, slap it on a card base. But I'm using my Misty. You can see here that I stamp these images 2, sometimes even 3 times, and then I add the detail. I love these multi-step stamping images. Really makes you look like you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Makes you look like a pro. And who doesn't love that? Am I right? And I really honestly think that W+9 has some of the most gorgeous floral images around. That Dawn, she knocks it out of the park every time, I'll tell you what. And, okay, moving on. Sorry, I get rambling. And now I'm stamping away here. And a lot of times when I stamp the base layer of a multi-step stamping image, I stamp the base layer in a lighter color, and then I'll stamp the detail in a darker color. You following me? But sometimes, like for example, that first big pink bloom, I didn't have the right shade to add that little detail, those little lines in each one of the petals. So I used the same color. So I used a Mama Elephant ink, Tutti Frutti is the name of it, for the big pink bloom base. And then I used Tutti Frutti again for the detail. I just stamped it like 3 and 4 times. I just kept stamping until it got darker and darker until I was happy with it. So if you don't have a ton of ink colors to choose from, you can do this with one color. Oh yes, you can. You just keep on stamping it until you get it how you like it, honey. And I get emails all the time. People ask me, what inks do you recommend? I want to buy some inks. What brand? Who should I buy from? And I always tell people, you know what I think you should really do is really just buy the colors that you love, no matter what brand of ink or company you're buying from. You don't have to buy the full set. Just buy the colors that you really do love, the colors that you're drawn to, because that's honestly when the rubber meets the road, that's what you're going to use the most, are those colors that are your favorites. Because I have a ton of inks, and I really do use some more than others. You know what I mean? It's kind of like clothes. You have your favorites. And that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just stamping away here, a bunch of leaves. Didn't really have a plan when I was starting this. I just knew I wanted to stamp a bunch of flowers, a bunch of leaves, and then come up with a design. Something that's like really spectacular and just blow your socks off. No. I was just trying to come up with something good and something that I like. So I knew you probably haven't noticed it yet, but I did have a little bit of method to my madness. I try to get every color in the rainbow if I can. So I knew I had red, orange, yellow. I got my green. I had an aqua for the blue, and I got my pink Tutti Frutti kind of pinky purpley flower. So I am covering the rainbow bases. I try to sneak it in under the table when nobody's looking. Okay, so now what I'm doing is taking the coordinating dies. I'm going to die cut each one of these little puppies out. There was a bunch, let me tell you. So I did most of this off camera because you get the idea. But I do enjoy die cutting all these little things. It just brings me joy. And now I have a fog card base. This is Fog Cardstock by Simon Says Stamp. Flicking on some black Gonzai Tomby watercolors like so. I just like the look of that loosey-goosey flicky look on the back. And then I got one of the basic greeting dies here. This is the Smile. As you can see, I went ahead and die cut 6 of those. I'm stacking them up using my Tombow Mono adhesive. A lot of times I use this spray adhesive, but I was just feeling too lazy to dig it all out, so I just grabbed my Tombow Mono. You know, it's like whatever you got the energy to do, you know. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that Smile right in the center of my card base. And then what I was thinking of making like a floral type of wreath to kind of frame my sentiment, if you will. So I've got the 2 biggest blooms here. I'm going to start with my base. And I'm popping them up with foam tape. I put everything catty corner. Do you guys use that word, catty corner? We use that down in these parts in Illinois. My mom used to always say catty corner. That house is catty corner. You know that car that's catty corner? So I say that all the time, but every once in a while I run into somebody who looks at me like, what are you talking about? They don't even know what catty corner means. I'm not even sure if I'm using it properly, to be honest. But to me, catty corner means opposite. I could be wrong on that. Anyway, I'm arranging these florals. Sometimes I wonder if all my work on card making with florals would qualify me to be a florist in real life. Do you think it transfers? I don't know, but I feel like I've done a lot of floral arranging in my day in card making. So, but every once in a while I try, if I get flowers from the store, I try to arrange them in a vase. It doesn't always turn out as good as my cards. But last but not least, we got to add the tittle. The tittle is the dot on the eye, and I had to adhere 6 little tittles on top of one another, and I always like to take my original die cut piece. That helps me to line up that tittle right where it should be. And this card is finished. I love these gorgeous summer southern floral images. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.